In a quiet pond nestled in the middle of the city park lived an old grumpy tilapia who believed with absolute confidence that he was the most important creature in the entire park. Every single day, visitors would walk by the pond, smile at him, and toss in a handful of delicious breadcrumbs. The old grumpy tilapia had long considered this offering his royal tribute, and he accepted them with all the pride of a king receiving gifts from his loyal subjects. On warm morning, as sunlight shimmered on the surface of the pond, the old grumpy tilapia floated near his usual feeding spot. With narrowed eyes, he waited for the first child or early visitor to approach with breadcrumbs. But the minutes stretched on, and even when the sun had already climbed high in the sky, not a single breadcrumb had appeared. The pond remained quiet. The walkway was empty. Growing impatient, the old grumpy tilapia puffed out his cheeks and grumbled loudly. "Damn humans! Aren't they supposed to feed me every day? How dare they forget about me?" Filled with annoyance and curiosity, he poked his head above the surface. What he saw shocked him so much and he nearly performed a backflip. "Great ocean above! The park is closed today! Closed! How am I supposed to survive without my precious heavenly breadcrumbs?" His booming complaints echoed through the pond, and straight awake the young Pleco fish, who had been napping peacefully on a stone. The Pleco blinked sleepy and asked, "What's wrong, Grandpa Tilapia? You look really upset." The old grumpy tilapia snorted so hard that a bubble popped beside him. "Those useless humans closed the park today! How could they abandon me like this? Heartless barbaric creatures! I swear I'll smack them upside the head when they show up tomorrow." "Whoa, whoa, calm down, Grandpa," said the young Pleco fish, gently paddling closer. "I'm sure the humans haven't abandoned us. Just trust them, okay? Maybe they're busy." The old grumpy tilapia clicked his tongue sharply and grumbled, "Don't be so naive, young one. When you reach my age, you'll know how rotten humans can be." But the young Pleco had barely opened his mouth to argue before the old grumpy tilapia spun around dramatically and swam away. He headed toward the thick mats of algae growing at the bottom of the pond. With the park closed and no visitor around, both he and the young Pleco had no choice but to eat algae and water insects. The young Pleco watched him from a distance, hoping Grandpa Tilapia wouldn't stay angry for too long. What the fish didn't know was that the humans were revitalizing their city park. Workers had put up fences, blocked the paths, and brought in tools and machinery. The entire process was expected to take 1 to 2 weeks. Tough, of course, but not a single fish had been informed. By the third day of revitalization, the old grumpy tilapia was at his absolute limit. 3 days of algae, 3 days of insects, 3 days of feeding abandoning it was too much for him. Furious and miserable, he scooped up a pebble from the pond floor, swam to the surface, and waited. When a construction worker happened to walk past the pond, the old grumpy tilapia hurled the pebble with all his might. "Take this, you filthy savage human trash!" "Ow!" yelped the construction worker, rubbing the back of his head. He spun around in confusion. "What in the world?" "Over here, you clueless human!" shouted the old grumpy tilapia. "You pathetic two-legged creature!" The worker squinted toward the pond and spotted the tilapia glaring at him. Good afternoon, sir. Can I help you with something?" "Help me? Don't be ridiculous! You've been wandering around for days doing absolutely nothing useful. Your tiny brain probably can't even understand my words," the tilapia ranted. The worker blinked slowly. Sir, we're revitalizing this park. We're working hard. Are you bothered by the noise? Bothered? The noise is annoying, yes, but worse than that, you've scared away the visitors. No visitor means no breadcrumbs, you human pests. Trying not to laugh or panic, the worker replied, We'll finish soon, sir. Please be patient. But the tilapia remained livid. The worker hesitated and asked gently, Sir, are you eating well? 1,000 storm and tempest, roared the old grumpy tilapia. While you human feast on good food, I've been forced to survive on bland algae and boring insects. At last the worker understood that tilapia was simply hungry and cranky. Well then, sir, maybe I could share my lunch with you. Is there something you like to eat? The tilapia, though slightly calmer, refused to admit it. You think food can solve everything, foolish shrimp-brained creature? Just then, a man in a red cap approached carrying a basket of sandwiches. Hey buddy, lunchtime! Oh boss, said the worker. I'm talking to Mr. Tilapia here. Maybe you can join us. Mr. Tilapia, please eat with us. It wouldn't be polite to start lunch without inviting you, the worker said, sprinkling breadcrumbs into the water. It's not much, but I hope you enjoy it. The old grumpy tilapia froze. Humans and their terrible manners, giving crumbs to someone older, he grumbled, but he devoured the crumbs eagerly. Seeing this, the worker brightened. Actually, sir, how about we share lunch every day until the construction is finished? I'd love to learn from you. I'll treat you to food every day. The tilapia now is in an excellent mood, lifted his chin proudly. Of course you should seek knowledge from us fish. Even the young Pleco knows more than you humans. Meet me here every lunchtime. If you're late, you'll be cursed for breaking a pact with the fish. And so, the old grumpy tilapia's misery came to an end. Each day, the workers brought him breadcrumbs and listened to his grand stories. The tilapia gained new friends, a steady food supply, and even an audience for his daily rants. And the moral of the tale is simple. Never forget to feed the fish, because if you do, they might throw rocks at you like a grumpy old king of the pond.